A 5,000-year civilization. Culture is the soul of a nation. Spiritual factors are as important to humankind as physical factors, such as race and territory. Cultural developments define the history of a nation's civilization. The complete destruction of a national culture leads to the end of the nation. Ancient nations that had created glorious civilizations were considered to have vanished when their cultures disappeared, even though that race of people may have survived. China is a country in the world whose civilization has been passed down continuously for over 5,000 years. Chinese culture was believed to be passed down by God, starting with such myths as Pangu's creation of heaven and the earth, Nuwa's creation of humanity, Shennong's identification of hundreds of medicinal herbs, and Sanjie's invention of Chinese characters. The authentic culture of the Chinese nation started about 5,000 years ago with the legendary Yellow Emperor, who is deemed to be the earliest ancestor of the Chinese civilization. Man follows the earth follows heaven, heaven follows the Tao, and the Tao follows what is natural. The Taoist wisdom of unity of heaven and humanity has coursed through the veins of Chinese culture. Taoism's profound influence on Confucianism can be seen in such Confucian sayings as aspire to the Tao, align with virtue, abide by benevolence, and immerse yourself in the arts. And if one hears the Tao in the morning, one can die without regret. Confucianism is the part of traditional Chinese culture that focuses on entering the mundane world. It emphasizes family-based ethics, whereby in a family, a father should be kind, a son filial, an older brother friendly, and a younger brother respectful. Family-based ethics then extend naturally to guide social morality. Cultivate oneself, regulate one's family, rightly govern one's state, and make the whole kingdom tranquil and happy. Great learning promotes the cultivation of virtue. Confucius established a school to teach students more than 2,000 years ago and imparted to society the Confucian ideals represented by the 5 cardinal virtues of benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and faithfulness. The Book of Changes, or I Ching in Chinese, is a record of heaven and earth, yin and yang, cosmic changes, social rise and decline, and the laws of human life. Confucians regard it as the number 1 among all Chinese classics. The prophetic powers of the book has far surpassed what modern science can conceive today. During the 1st century, Shakyamuni's Buddhism, with its emphasis on compassion and salvation for all beings, traveled east to China. Thereafter, Chinese culture became even more wide-ranging and profound. Thereafter, Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism became complementary beliefs in Chinese society, bringing the Tang Dynasty to the peak of its glory and prosperity, as is known to all under heaven. The influence of Buddhism and Taoism permeates all aspects of ordinary people's lives. Practices that are deeply rooted in Taoism include Chinese medicine, Qigong, Feng Shui, geomancy, and divination. These practices, and the Buddhist concept of a heavenly kingdom and hell, as well as karmic reward of good and retribution of evil, have, together with Confucian ethics, formed the core of traditional Chinese culture. Traditional Chinese culture sought harmony between man and the universe, and emphasized an individual's ethics and morality. It becomes common sense that kindness will be rewarded and evil will be punished. Taoism emphasizes truthfulness, Buddhism emphasizes compassion, and Confucianism values loyalty, tolerance, benevolence, and righteousness. While their forms differ, their purposes are the same. They all inspire people to return to kindness. These are the most valuable aspects of traditional Chinese culture. In Chinese history, traditional culture reached its peak during the prosperous Tang Dynasty, coinciding with the height of literature, arts, science, and the nation's power. China enjoyed a unique reputation among all nations. Scholars from Europe, the Middle East, and Japan came to study in Chang'an, the capital of the Tang Dynasty. Neighboring countries took China as their suzerain state. Tens of thousands of countries paid tribute to China. Although the Chinese nation has experienced invasion and attack many times in history, for thousands of years, Chinese culture has shown great endurance and the ability to integrate, with its essence continuously being passed down. The beliefs of Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism offered Chinese people a very stable moral system, which provided the basis for sustainability, peace, and harmony in society. Culture offers no answers for questions such as how to expand industrial production or what social systems to adopt. Rather, it plays an important role in providing moral guidance and restraint. The true restoration of traditional culture will represent the recovery of humility toward heaven, earth, and nature, respect for life, and awe before God, allowing humanity to live harmoniously with heaven and earth, and enjoying a heaven-given old age.